Numa.
Yes, Numenera. Not Numa. God, look. Why is it zooming in on the cat? And he goes. I know someone who wants to see that. I love kitties. So we're
Okay.
doing a Numenera one shot to stay on topic. A Numenera one shot,
Numenera.
and what that particularly involves is that you guys are on an adventure, and there's not going to be too much not adventuring going on. That being said, I don't think Numenera really supports long-term downtime either. The point is that the adventure I proposed, or at least I probably should have told you more information over time. I think I told you that you were going to a cold place.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, that cold place is called the Land of the Frozen Giants.
Ooh.
And in a very Numenera sense, all these giants are really just it's a spaceship graveyard, so to speak. Large icicles, rivers of coolant, strange floating parks. You've been invited cordially by the mayor of a town known as Lost Head, who requested your assistance in a matter most dire. However, the land that you are in, the land of frozen giants, is no easy land to traverse. Between the fact that everything is 90% like frozen random debris, getting around is difficult, and there is no real ground level you can easily maneuver. Not to mention the fact there are many machines out there that will try to snatch you and grab you. How have you all been dealing with the increasingly cold weather as you approach a place that is just oozing industrial grade magical coolant?
I've just bundled up. I've got furs, I've got warm clothes, I've got boots, that kind of thing.
Big old, like, warm fuzzy pads, under coatings for under my armor and things. Gonna be toasty.
I'm a shiny android. I just enjoy the cool.
Ah, my processors can run at full power. If I recall correctly, at least one person on this party is like actually adapted to cold weather.
Yep. That'd be me.
The one person who won't even notice that it's cold.
Tiny snow bunny.
Well, on your last leg of the journey, you think you see something in the distance between the intermittent falling of snow. It tastes like water, it looks like water. But unlike usual snow, this stuff sits for a while and then seems to slowly but surely just form columns of ice. It's honestly kind of goofy. You see it off in the distance. You are standing in front of what probably was a bridge a long while ago, but no longer is a bridge. It seems to be the only way to reach Lost Head, which, how do you describe this? Imagine like a kaiju fighting robot half sunken into the ground, and someone was like, I'm going to build my village on top of the shoulders, because there's no head. They call it Lost Head, but you can very clearly see that the head is just in the ravine in front of you, as you stand on a shelf of ice, precariously located atop of a very cubistic spaceship. Maybe it's a giant, who knows? It's very square, though. You can tell that the bridge was held up by, scraps of wood and metal that they plundered off the ships, tied by cables between an antenna, some pike they drove into the ground, and on the other side, you can't quite tell what they're using to hold it up. But it's gone now. The cables were cut or something. There was one guy on the other side who's like trying to figure out how he's going to solve this.
How far is
How far is this ravine? Well, it's quite a distance. It's an easy like 50 meters or
Ooh.
150 feet.
We're 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 approaching it.
Your Lost Head is like right across this big gap.
Suppose the ancient tactic of just go around it isn't viable.
Lost Head is located atop the shoulders of a giant, and this seems to be the only immediately visible path to it. You could probably climb around, but that would also take some energy and effort.
Yeah.
Well, I don't even have 50 meters rope. I'm underprepared. Besides, we would need to toss it all the way over there and so on.
So, how far away is the other side?
50 meters. It's a good distance.
50 meters. Is that... How long is long range, by the way?
I need to look that up because it's something that comes up a lot. Numenera book. The thing takes a bit to load.
Long distance is anything greater than short distance, but less than 100 feet / 30 meters or so. Beyond that range, distances are always specified. So it's like beyond long distance.
Advanced distance. Where did you find this information on distances?
It's on page 90.
Page 90. Distance. There we go. Well, so it is an approximately long distance. Short-ish. Maybe. If you aim good, you might be able to stretch it. Depending on what you're using.
So to clarify, did you say there is a bridge or was a bridge?
There was.
There was, but it's clearly been cut in the middle. And the flaps are like hanging against the chest of Lost Head and the icy shelf of the structure you're standing on. Not much wind, so you don't have to hear it clattering against it.
Well, I might be able to make it over there, but you... I guess I should get you along with me.
Sounds
Can I-
easier said than done.
It's only like 15 meters down, but it is all icy and slippery and cold.
So the drop down is like it's also 50-ish meters also.
15 meters.
Oh, 15. That's not that bad.
Just like short range.
Hmm.
Still not really a height I would like to fall from.
If it's also 15 meter up on that side.
Well, yes and no. The way that the landscape is made, it's so irregular that it kind of varies, but ish, maybe 10 meters if you can sort of squeeze on that little ledge over there.
Well, that's not a terrible climbing distance. Also, anyone here can throw things 10 meters up?
Probably.
Anyone here have training or expertise or anything in yeeting?
Well,
I'm not exactly a toss boy, but I am a strong boy.
well, I'm trained in repairing things.
That repairing is the opposite of yeeting.
Yeah, but we have a broken bridge here.
Well, yes, but you would have to find a way to get the bridge parts to sort of meet in the middle so you can properly affix them together or somehow rope and pulley them together.
Yeah, if the bridge is like... If the bridge is 50 meters long, that means it's even trailing at the bottom of this ravine.
Yeah, the bridge is like partially on the floor.
So I guess the way to repair it would be to just kind of tie something to it to be able to pull the halves up to the proper height and then mend them together when they meet. So we would need to be able to get up on both sides anyway.
I mean, theoretically, you could tie a rope on each end, and in the center have like a pulley system that pulls the excess rope together and unites them. But you would need 4 ropes for the 4 corners of the rope bridge. Within gliding distance, no, not really.
No.
Well, I mean, there are other structures nearby that may be taller from where you could feasibly glide over to Lost Head. It's not like this is the tallest location in the local area.
Yeah, well, I'll just fast step myself on the other side. Just kind of hop in the air, appear on the other side.
You watch as you are abandoned by your friend.
Oh.
Well, until you realize that he's just on the other side now. And Toss standing next to the guy who's like examining the rope bridge and seems to be taking his sweet time deciding how he's going to manage this.
Hello there.
Hello there. I'm the local rope right. My only job is mostly to make sure people can climb around here and keep the bridge in one place, but looks like I failed at that, didn't I? What's a metal man like you doing out in a chilly place like this? Don't you people freeze over?
Apparently not.
That's impressive. Well, then again, there's a lot of metal things out here. Not much eating, but I think you can help with the bridge. Looks like there's more people on the other side, which I'm pretty sure I saw you there just a second ago.
Yes, they are my traveling companions. Do you have, well, why haven't you repaired the bridge yet then, if you are the person in charge of keeping it functioning?
Boy, don't you rush me, boy. People that live here, they get up and down via various pulley systems around here. This bridge just for visitors. On top of that, who says this happened a week ago? Don't you go judging me just because I didn't fix the bridge all right yet.
The bridge has been broken for a week?
I said it ain't been broken a week.
I didn't ask about that in the first place.
Well, you were giving me slack for not fixing this bridge fast enough, and I said this bridge hadn't been broken long enough for me to not be fixing it fast enough. Boy, I'm doing my best. If I got to pick between fixing the bridge that's for the visitors and making sure that the people around there can do their bloody job, I'm gonna pick for the people that need to do the job.
Whatever. What do you need to prepare this bridge?
Well, do any of your friends know how to operate a pulley?
Probably.
Good. Then I'm gonna go fetch a couple. I'll be back in a bit. And he starts to walk off towards. You would call it a house, but it looks like a heap of scrap that's just been covered in ice over time. It's got that nice smooth feel as a result. He goes inside. You hear audible clanging noises, and it comes back out just covered in ropes and a couple of very interesting like pulley systems. That you feel would like increase and decrease the length of rope between itself and wherever it's going, creating a loop up above. Well, anyone of you got a spot welder?
Well, would my onslaught work for that?
What does your onslaught description say?
It's a beam attack. I basically imagine this a kind of similar to, it's a laser beam that I shoot out of my palm.
Then I imagine it would do what he needs to, which is mostly just melt the ends so you can glue them back together again.
Yes.
It's not the smartest way to do it, but fuck it. It's the visitor's bridge, who cares?
It's what you have at hand.
He starts to climb down like the metal plates. This guy is dressed in very fancy synthetic looking clothes. You feel he could walk in space and be just fine. He's just muttering, "My goddamn bridge got to fix for the bloody visitors. I don't know, visitors just learn how to climb a goddamn bridge."
I mean, I could, and I guess I'm just going to do that, clamber onto the bottom of the ravine, so just because
He too
I was
clambers
getting
to the
impatient.
bottom of the bridge, as you guys have been standing there gormlessly watching a robot try to negotiate bridge repairs.
At this stage, I can't really do anything relevant, so Gormlessly is right.
I would like to point out that I have described, or at least implied multiple times, that you can climb down one side of the bridge and just climb back up the other.
Yeah, and I was thinking that I just didn't want to interrupt your nice dialogue scene.
If you want to interrupt, you interrupt. Well.
Yeah, but I didn't.
He starts tying like ropes and cables to the ends of the bridge.
Yeah, I'll be watching that from close up.
He does a good job. You don't know that he's called a rope right, but Your good friend Rom could tell you that he probably lives up to the title, with the Nazis using the way he fixes the pulley and starts like until there's tension on the bridge. If you want to climb up the other side, you're gonna have to do it quickly because at this point it's entering the "please don't stand on this, I'm trying to repair this" stages of tension.
Yeah, sure.
You are standing next to Rom as everyone else watches this guy, and he like sort of waves someone to come and help him. Maybe he was shouting about that a minute earlier.
Maybe
God
I
dang
should have just stayed down there and helped him pull.
He just needs you to operate the pulleys on one side while he does the ones on his side, which will cause the bridge to slowly go up as the rope is pulled into a larger and larger loop. God dang.
Yeah, I can do that.
No visitors got no goddamn politeness in any of that goddamn bones. Used to help me back in the old days, now people don't look out for themselves no more. This is a place where you look out for each other. You start shouting at the people who are still static on the one side. Keep it steady there. Keep it steady. Gotta keep the both sides level or we're all gonna fall down. And eventually, the bridge hangs what you believe it should be hanging at. The pulleys are mostly exhausted, and the tips are close together. So, who's got the welder? Who's gonna help me weld these little cables together?
Well, I'll approach. Well, show me where to. Show me what you need building.
He like holds out the two ends of each end. He will essentially require to use Onslaught 4 times ish.
Yeah.
The bridge looks fixed. To the best of what you know, this is probably what the bridge would look like fixed. You're not a bridge builder. And then he beckons everyone to come out that the bridge is open now. And then takes his pulleys and ropes back since he no longer needs these to pull the bridge into position. God dang sky cutters, god dang annoying. Little things think they can just go around cutting my things. So I need a rope right out all the way out here, and it's not damn place. So, what do? You are standing on the bridge. Or not standing on the bridge. I don't know where you guys are moving.
Well,
I mean, across the bridge towards the place that we were going to.
Excellent.
yes, once the repairs are complete.
You walk across. The village has a large opening where you assume would be the neck hole, if this place is called Lost Head and supposedly had a head at some point. This is probably the neck hole, which goes down into a large open area. You notice that down there is no snow, and the snow seems to disappear before it actually goes down the hole itself. There are some huts on the outside, but who knows what's in them. They're not like peeking in every person's house around here.
Reasonable.
Proceed forward.
Yeah.
You go on down. Down below, it's a little bit warmer. Warm enough that snow probably doesn't keep and most water stays liquid. The way to describe this is that there's a single large spiral staircase that loops around the neck hole opening all the way down. There are houses built into the wall, composited out of plates that have been welded together in irregular fashions, creating a very shanty town feel while still having a certain delight to it. In the center is a house located about heart height, if you had to guess. There are several points where the staircase that circles around stops, goes flat for a moment, and then connects to nearby walkways. But yeah, there are multiple markets, stalls, people walking around. It's hard to immediately tell which building is the most important, other than the one that's like the only building in the spiral itself.
Well, that sounds like a very central area. It's probably where the local boss lives.
Yeah. Oh.
Got no objections
just-
to investigating in there.
Alright. You go into the one major distinguishing building around here. Besides the market stalls and the occasional house that looks bigger. It's really hard because it just looks like a clump of random shards of metal glued together. You walk inside the building and find yourself in a place filled with incense and a certain pleasant warmth of a campfire filling the room. It's a single large domed space. There seems to be a trapdoor off in the not existent corner since it's a round shape that probably leads to the lower half of this spherical structure. And there, in front of a large fire, is sitting a lady. She has a lot of like weird growths and metal bits attached to herself, and seems to be smoking on what probably is a pipe.
Fancy future pipe.
She sucks at it and blows like small circles of smoke at you that get disturbed and blown away by the fire's rising air.
Let's greet her, I suppose.
Yeah.
Just walking here in here without saying something, that's kind of rude.
Realm,
Oh.
would you understand anything about like binary or Morse code?
Well, maybe.
Well, then roll me a difficulty 3 intellect task.
Intellect. Ah. Good thought.
She seems to be signaling with her smoke to you should probably get closer and sit down. Come hither, so to speak. There are several carpets and pillow-like things located around the central fire, but calling them pillows is generous. They look more like bags of gel.
Mm.
And they have like
She
little,
seems to-
little valves on them.
Comfy.
She's messaging us in the more. She's using her smoke as a Morse code to signal us to step forwards.
Her very agitatedly tapping foot may also communicate this information, but Ron wouldn't pick up on that.
Nope.
Yeah, let's sit down then.
Yeah, sit down.
Yeah.
She holds in her other hand. Now that you get close enough, you notice that it's not actually part of the chair she's sitting in. She holds a large stick, at the top of which is a very smooth, round bubble that appears to emit a cool smoke, judging by how it thickens and falls to the ground. She takes the pipe out of her mouth for just a moment and speaks in a crackly voice. So you're the ones that I've invited?
Indeed.
Or are you
Let's make the best
visitors for another
impression.
cause? Well,
Hello, I'm Ailey.
Hmm.
And I'm Theodore.
Raum.
Voting.
you may call me Eliana. By technical definitions, I'm the one who handles the external affairs of this place. Although this affair may not necessarily consider the outside world. Do you know what giants sleep under this land? It is as she asks this question that the ground starts to rumble. And some giants sleep only so soundly.
Judging by the evidence, you have several damaged war machines and space-going vessels buried in the lands around here.
The large giants on the surface are often harmless. They possess no power to move on their own. It is the ones that have hidden underground or that hunt these lands that are truly dangerous. And one of them, I feel, has come awake. Or will soon awaken. I fear this thing has the size to destroy all. I can sense it. She gives you a crazy eye, like one of her eyes gets really wide and open. I can see such things, and our seer agrees. Our future is destruction, as is all the land. However, a giant such awakening can be found with ease. One needs simply follow a trail of energy. Does anyone know how you can find a single point while having only the information of how far away it is?
Nope.
Well, there is the game of cold and hot, although I'm not sure if we can find any hot around here.
She's just asking if you know about triangulation.
I might
Yeah.
be
I
able to
don't.
calculate that.
I am glad to see that at least one of you has a brain on top of his shoulders.
Mm,
I hope the rest of you will demonstrate the same. I will make it brief. There are 3 other villages like this one, and we all have a special device that can detect the nearest great source of power. Usually it just points out the biggest, scariest thing nearby. But now we think we might be able to use it to find out where this machine is that is causing the rumbles, causing entire vessels to move from their place, giant crags to turn into valleys. And perhaps it may awaken. We already have the number here. The numbers we still need. Well, I have had contact with 5 masts and wall of slime. They are near here, but the travel is dangerous, and very few of us ever make this journey. On top of that, we need someone to actually go and make sure the machine does not arouse once its location is known. And for that, us simple folk will only be able to do so much. Would you agree to such a mission? I have a great many shins I can share for your services.
I've got no problem with helping out.
hmm.
Sure, why not?
Sounds
She
like we would be best suited to not stay in this intellectual company.
She gives you a look as if she's expecting or waiting for something. But when she gets no reply, she just kind of moves on. Well then, does any one of you have a compass or a means of knowing north from south?
I don't.
Not directly with a compass, no.
No.
I might be able to calculate such things without the need for external aids.
And with all this machinery around, I would rather rely on these methods as well.
She'll provide you with a chart. It's like a chart with 3 points on it, and on the chart she has. How do you describe it? A sort of direction according to north-south written on it, and a number that is probably an amount of degrees. So theoretically, by just looking in the right direction, you could approximately know where you're supposed to go to.
Nice. Shame there doesn't sound like there's any geographical features on the chart.
Nope. The land changes often. You would be surprised how few things have stayed upright since the beginning of the Great Awakening.
Yeah, that'll probably make map making kind of challenging.
Well, we are more than used to it. We simply do not make maps that describe things that surround it, but the relations in between.
Very well then.
Very well then.
Since
It is agreed. You will be paid nothing for your services, since apparently you do not know the art of negotiation. Now go, before the land itself becomes nothing but scorching flame.
Right.
I mean, if it's a matter of the entire however much of the world ended due to a giant rampaging mechanical entity, insist on being paid first is kind of rude.
Sure.
Don't require much.
She leans back and she just looks at you, sort of waves her pipe around like, hmm?
Yeah. Let me think if I have any means to actually copy this chart for myself. Or I guess I could just remember it vaguely.
No, you're just given the chart. You don't have to give it back. It already
Yeah,
has
but
the approximate distances between the three villages and like a circle of the place you're currently at, according to the information they've been able to gather as to how far this thing is. No direction, just like approximate distance.
Better than nothing.
yeah. Oh. I'll just memorize just in case we lose it somehow. At this rate of competence, I feel like that's very much an option.
Oh,
Oh, off we go.
let's head over to where that is.
Where do you wish to go first, then? If you're immediately going to leave and move on, which sounds more appealing? The town of 5 masts or a wall of slime?
The wall
Or
of
one of
slime
those.
sounds less appealing.
Yeah, probably 5 masts.
Yeah, I would say so too.
When you say wall of slime,
Mm-hmm.
how literal are they?
Who are you asking?
One way to find out.
Well, person who gave us the map.
Didn't you just leave?
Well, they left.
We're in the process of
Brown
leaving.
staying behind decides to ask questions. What a smart man. Well, slime is it's a village built into a wall that at some point was slime, but nowadays is kind of frozen over. It's proven a sizable enough chunk that they could carve an entire village out of it. I'm surprised they don't just find a nice warm hole to huddle up in, but I guess some people enjoy being cold.
Not everyone feels cold the same way as you organics.
Ugh, you mean like that weird penguin thing? Ugh.
Hey,
Hmm.
that's rude.
She's not talking about you.
Oh.
Also, you're not probably even there to hear it.
I'm done
Yes.
hearing this sass.
Well, anything else? I prefer to enjoy my pipe in peace. As much as I take my duties as helping people seriously, I can't help someone who just stands in my room.
I'll start following the others out. Yes.
You start walking back up the spiral staircase. Clink, clank, clink, clank. You see some very unusual people, some carrying stacks of books, others carrying fine-looking arms. And the rope right, with lots of rope. Or cable. It looks like metal rope cable. What would you call that, a cable or rope, if it's made out of metal, but it's twined like a rope? Oh, there's a question. Despite the philosophical questions on the nature of connective tissue, you reach the outside. Once you pass through the neck hole barrier, it gets nice and chilly again. God dang.
I might call it wire.
Not Minna's. 'Cause
Oh no.
Hmm. That's unfortunate. Hmm.
Surprised that she's still like logged in for the voice chat.
Yeah.
That is kind of peculiar.
Discord will probably disconnect her in a second when it realizes not actually in there.
No pottery. Photoshop a knife in the image because I cut it. Do do do. Ha 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 ha.
Hmm. Well,
Oh, might as well continue, I guess.
Yeah.
And catch me up if her power comes back.
hmm. Right. Well, the Wall of Slime is another village of theirs, following the idiosyncratic naming method.
Very creative people around here.
Hmm.
I don't know, man.
Same
If
old.
someone told you go to the Wall of Slime, you know where to go.
Oh, that is fair.
Say they are far more literal in their naming, but
Says the guy one letter away from just being called Ram.
Now he's
Oh.
called Room in German, so is that better? I don't know.
He's a room.
Full of RAM.
Clickety clackety.
Mina can hear us, so we can't make fun of her while she's missing.
Of course you can.
Well then, you head out to where you assume the Wall of Slime is located. After asking a single person to make sure that your map is technically accurate. You climb on down, going back across the bridge, back down, and then follow the instructions, heading off into what might as well be described as a forest of many pieces of metal. While the immediate area surrounding Lost Head is being cleared out, which makes sense, the further you go, the more the land becomes jagged and irregular. And I need someone to roll me a 1d8 for a random thing to happen as you traverse this strange land.
You don't. 7.
Along the way, as you clamber over a shelf, you find yourself on a thing. It's like a car, like a room with glass, and it's like parked in the middle. And there's a man in rags standing in an open side portal that's been flapped open and up. And he beckons you closer. Please, please.
Hmm.
Alms for the poor.
I'm going to try and discern whether this is a ambush.
How would you discern this?
Well, I am going to use this for.
Glimpse the outside. You gotta. All right. Then you may use that asset on an intellect 3 difficulty check.
Yep.
So it goes down to 2. If I'm correct, the way to set this is there's a central section that's called action. You can use that to set all the parameters for what it does when it rolls. Anyway, you managed to do it.
Is there?
Hmm.
Where is that?
And you gain a minor effect, don't you?
Oh.
I
Well,
think 17, 18, 19, and then 20, right? Or is it just 18, 19?
let me check.
Yeah, I think it is 17, 18, 19, 20.
Well, 20 is like super effect.
It's Mario, yeah.
19 is minor and 20 is major.
Okay. I guess it's only for damage then, because it's a special +2 damage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You are pretty sure that there's no one else here that would lead an ambush. He keeps beckoning you with his hand. Alms for the poor.
He seems safe.
I'm going to approach him carefully and cautiously,
I mean,
just
it
in
is a big
case.
open space, so yes.
Yeah.
You are standing near him. Oh, alms for the poor, good sir.
What is he even saying? Longs for the poor?
Alms! Alms, my good sir. Alms! Please,
Alms.
I'm freezing.
Oh, money.
May I have your warm clothes?
You kind of need those two.
Intellect 5 difficulty
I'm
check
not-
if you want to say no.
I don't know if I have any to spare.
Intellect 5 difficulty check if you want to say no.
Oh,
Otherwise, you are
fine.
compelled to listen to him. You are compelled to undress your worm clothes and offer them to him. You watch as Theodore decides to do something that's kind of dumb.
Cue the sexy music as a strip naked in the
It's not very
freezing
sexy
cold
when you
Arctic.
undress in plate mail.
I don't know. I'm sure there's strippers that do that. Show up in full medieval armor. Clank, clank.
Everyone watches as Theodore begins to undress his plate mail and then removes the warm clothing underneath. Oh,
Okay, what's going on?
very kind. Of course.
Somehow, this is a good idea. I just
Okay.
nod self-assuredly
But
with
please,
myself.
warm clothes are not enough. I require weaponry to defend myself in this fierce land.
Eh,
And armor to stay safe.
I'm definitely not giving you those.
Difficulty 5, intelligence check.
God damn it.
Everyone stands at the edge of this open place just watching Theodore
Hell
disrobe
yeah.
and disarm.
No, I'm not giving my armor.
Please, sir. Are you truly so unkind you would leave an old man to die?
Are
Make
you
it again.
still...
Difficulty 6.
What?
You need to stop being dumb, everyone.
I definitely want to get the hell
You're also
away
starting
from
to
this
freeze over.
fucker.
Because, holy shit, this place is cold without anything protecting you.
Yeah, what?
So how can we help him?
Do something!
I'm just gonna punch the fucker in the face.
You first must give him all your weapons and armor. As everyone just stands there and watches.
Yeah, I could
You
use
can
some
intervene,
help.
yes!
This isn't
You
just
don't need my
the
fucking
Theodore gets
permission!
naked shot.
This is a new system. We don't understand the rules.
The rules are, you do what you think you would do in this situation. And from there I'll tell you if it's possible and what is necessary.
Oh, good.
Mena,
Thanks, Mena.
what are you trying to do? What is your intervenience? Are you trying to negotiate? Are you trying to hit him or trying to pull him away? Like, where do you fuck up? Yeah. Mena, you grab onto Theodore, thinking the best option is to kind of guide him away, and you get stuck to him because he's frozen over.
Oh. What's happening? Realm kind of blank out there for a little bit.
Good job. Theodore has unrobed, has removed his armor and weapons, given them to this old man. Then our good friend Minna over here tried to get Theodore away and got stuck, freezing stuck to him because of the cold weather. Theodore is looking mighty frostbitten. This old man that they're talking to appears to be hypnotic.
Well, your acts of altruism are to
Commendable.
be applauded. yeah, hard to be commended, but they you might have gone a little bit too far.
Theodore, you're going to have to
This
roll
help.
a difficulty check 3, my check. And this is going to go up by 1 every while. Your friends don't do anything to help you because you are freezing, literally.
Yeah. It's going well.
Yes. You take 2 damage. Well, actually, just 1. We'll say just 1. It gets 1 worse every round. You freeze over just a little bit, just a smidge, which means you reduce 1 from your might pool.
Okay.
Boop.
Bonk.
Everyone else just keeps staring as Theodore freezes and Minna slowly just gets stuck to him as well.
Word of help!
Is there anything off about the bear?
You're pretty sure that no sane person would do this. But I shouldn't have to tell you that.
Yeah, but I'm just wondering, how is he doing it?
You're not sure. The old man doesn't look like he should be alive either, because he's probably underdressed compared to Theodore at this point. Like, he's in rags. There are holes in his clothes. He's not wearing anything thick. He should have frozen over hours ago.
Hmm.
He's turned their attention to the rest of you. Alms for the poor, please.
I take a closer look at this.
What do you hope to discern?
Whether he's actually, what he is. Is he what he appears to be, a poor human freezing the cold?
Do you have anything that would help you in terms of perceiving something unusual, shall we say?
Well, let's see. I have my knowledge about Numenera and
That will help you in this context.
And my alternate dimension knowledge.
Those two will actually both provide you with an asset in this context, actually.
Okay.
So it was difficulty 5, but we're going to knock it down to 3 for your assets. Intelligence.
Okay.
You can always spend some effort on this. Nope.
Oop.
You do get the gut feeling that this guy is not physically here, because you notice snow falling through him.
Oh.
Mina had a thing that she wanted to do.
What does Minna think they can do? I'd like to free... Man, okay, well, you do that, and you throw a dagger at him. The man sort of fizzles and crackles, as you imagine holograms do. As it happens, you also notice a source of light behind him, like a small spotlight.
I approach the light.
You see a small spider-like object that is mostly a giant lens that is projecting this man, and a small speaker on the back. The man turns to you and requests alms for the poor.
I punch the light.
All right. Roll me a might or speed attack, I guess.
Okay.
You just have to hit it to break it, because this thing is tiny. You crash it. You just hear this crack, and Theodore suddenly comes to his senses and realizes that this is not how you give alms. Usually it's money you give. It's warmer inside the open vehicle from which the projector was projecting.
You might want to step inside to...
Yeah, I'm going to get decent again. Put some clothes back on.
Yes.
Kind of try and warm up.
Meet any of the locals.
Nobody saw that, okay? Nobody saw that.
Brrr.
I examined the destroyed thing.
It's a very it must be very sophisticated, very advanced technology, magic, or whatever fuels this device, because it's very tiny, and it doesn't look like it's made from anything that could be locally sourced.
I try to scavenge it for anything, any useful parts.
All right. What you managed to get out is a very interesting cipher, to say the least. It is a level 5 cipher. Unfortunately, you've damaged it so much that it probably only works once. That can allow you to compel someone to do something. So anything that's level 5 and under is automatically affected by this.
The hypno stick.
Yes, essentially. What it will compel them to do depends on the button you push, because there's like a few buttons, and they all seem to be like approximately what they asked Theodore to do.
Well, this does put me over my cipher limit, which we'll see how that goes.
Of course, after 24 hours you may explode. 28, I guess.
Hmm.
I'll look up that table
Always
because
a
it is
good
kind of
time.
funny. Because the cipher mishap table is hilarious. Cipher dangers. Where's the table? There it is. Nothing can happen, but if you get the worst possible effect, you literally just vanish. Also, all
Oh.
your ciphers can come alive.
That too.
Well, Theodore, you're back up in your warm clothes. You still feel a bit chilly, but you'll get over it. No harm, no foul.
It was incredibly embarrassing.
You are humbled
And
by the
he really
experience.
doesn't want to talk about it.
You hear a screech overhead as a shadow looms over. It is a large... I guess dragon would be an appropriate term, but it has spikes sticking out in all four directions. Whatever it does, it's not interested in you, by the looks of it. Oh, the man never took the gear. The gear was like put in front of him, and then he kept asking for more.
So should we go on then, or check out who controlled the device? Or was the device just running on its own?
Doesn't Raum have the device?
Yeah, now, but somebody... I don't know if that device is run all the time alone without anybody controlling it before.
Oh yes. Was there any evidence of this thing being remote controlled?
Difficulty 3, Numenera identification.
Numenera. Do. Oh.
It doesn't have any receivers you're familiar with.
I might have, in my haste, destroyed those parts.
Potentially. Or it never had one to begin with.
Yes.
If it had,
Like,
yes.
the device, upon closer examination, is like small little things at the bottom. Hollow fangs, so to speak.
Huh. Does it? Does that area look like it has, like there's been people or anything going through here? Like,
Oh, so you want to kick up some of the snow around the irregularly... Sure. You kick up some snow and find humanoid, like, masses in the ground. They've been frozen over by the snow by time, and the snow then covers up the ice that you can see them through.
Huh. Well,
they're all
yeah,
undressed next to piles of their equipment and materials. It would take some work to get any of it out, though.
Yeah, probably everything frozen over. Well, apparently this is just a trap.
Yeah.
Yes.
A very rude and mean trap.
Yes.
Evil. It makes you
still cranky about it.
It makes you take off your warm, comfy jacket just when you're having a blast.
That already had many victims, apparently.
Well, let us continue once Theodore has his buckles washed.
I'm okay.
You continue down the road you've set for yourself.
Sorry about that.
Yeah,
Welcome back.
I mean, I've been there all along. For some reason, my phone can't pick up the feed from my headphones microphone, though. I don't get it.
Weird. Well, cool technology.
Cool. You travel down the path you've set for yourself. Across frozen rivers. Well, it's actually, one of the rivers looks frozen, but on closer examination, it's just flowing super slowly. This is called plastic flow. It's goofy.
Huh.
You can like
Is it like
you can like push your
pyroclastic?
foot against it hard enough. You leave a footprint that stays for a while and slowly forms back out. It's kind of funny.
Gross.
Go.
You notice that goo becomes a more prominent feature as you reach where you assume the wall of slime would be. Then in the distance you see a circle of lights placed in front of a particularly large wall of ooze.
Yeah,
It's
that
a
must
small
be the-
grove, you would call it, because there are lots of like deprecated buildings and things around that form this small empty area within which is the large flow and the circle of lights. The circle of lights is comprised out of 8 glow sticks that seem to have been wedged into the floor.
Someone's having a party.
Yeah, man.
Right, is there something in the middle of them that I can see?
There seems to be like a sign or like a note that seems to have sunk into the floor by this point.
Well, I don't really want to step into the circle just in case it's another nasty thing.
Hmm.
Can I try to wrench the sign back into position?
You'd have to enter the circle to do so.
I guess I do then.
You step into the circle
Ah.
and sort of wedge the ice off the sign. The sign says, "Ask a question, make a wish." That's
No,
all it
we're going to
says.
become magical girls.
Hmm.
Well,
Okay.
I don't trust myself to be careful what I wish for.
Well, what is troubling these lands?
Things, presumably.
Hmm.
Good answer.
The wall of slime nearby, now that you get a little closer, since you're messing with the sign, has like passages in it. Like there's a big 2 holes in it that go deeper in.
All right. Well, I go investigate those.
The holes eventually meet up again, forming a primitive defensive position. Before reaching a set of tarps, you pass tarp, 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 tarp. Do you keep going through these many tarps as your friends stay behind?
Go examine the closest top.
They're all made from patchwork bits of material. There are some that are made out of like large slabs, others are made out of like smaller tidbits. They all form colorful collages, made with machine-like stitching.
Hmm. I peek under the top.
You peek under the tarps, which are hanging from the ceiling. They're like supposed to create a division between the in and outside. In that way.
Right. Curtain.
Yeah, that's the word, curtain. You peek behind the curtain and see many, I guess a good term would be steamy machines.
Ooh.
Winky face.
Wink. Yes, the machines all are red hot, and some of them just sort of lean against the walls from time to time, creating a hiss as they absorb the cool air of the coolant. Your friends are still outside having a blast in the snow. Making snowmen, presumably.
Is this the wall of slime entrance?
How would you know? You've traveled a distance. You are at a place. Yep, matches the description, you think.
It's a wall of slime.
And it has an entrance. You were told the wall of slime was built inside the wall of slime.
Great, let's go then.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's go in then.
I'm examining this machine.
You examine the many machines. They are all sentient beings by the looks of it, because they'll give you a look and all together at once wave, "Hello."
Hello.
Then one of them
hi.
steps forward who has the most human face, you think. They all don't look very human. They look more like machines that came from these giants and decided, you know what, let's just make a living out here. How may I help you? What brings you to the wall of slime?
They are happy in tremors underneath. Some sort of giant machine causing problems for the people nearby.
Correct.
At the behest of the Elder of Lost Neck, we would like to operate your energy tracker.
Ah, yes. We do not have such a tool, however. You will have to ask the augur outside.
How do we operate said auger?
Stand within its receptacle and transmit your request.
Ah, right,
You know,
that thing. Very well then, I'm just going to head out and do that.
The very suspicious glow stick circle.
You leave them and their many contraptions and projects behind and head back outside.
At least I do, because everyone else is assumed to just stand idly.
If no one says anything.
Everyone just gets has a little clock that ticks over their head as they assume the idle position. You walk
Yeah,
outside
well-
and see Ellie and the rest all having a blast.
Yay! Well, I guess I'm going to stand within the receptacle of the 8 glow sticks and say list of commands.
You receive no answer.
Greatest energy signature tracker.
Wait, what do you ask? Energy signature tracker, but what do you say before that?
Greatest.
It still does not answer.
I head back in and ask for instructions on how to formulate my requests.
Ah, have you received your desired answer? He asks as he sees you enter back in. Truly remarkable,
Yeah.
isn't it? How efficient and how clean it answers any question.
Yes, I think I'm not using the proper request forms because I haven't.
Really, you simply need ask your question.
I walk outside into the ring. Where can we locate the... What was that thing called?
They have decided to dub it the Great Machine. Or the Great Destroyer, you know.
Ah.
The greatest energy source nearby.
Where can we locate the Great Destroyer?
There is, for a moment, a rumble. Not the one you felt before, this is more localized. As if many infinitesimally large and small gears click together. Then underneath you, you notice that the whole sheet of like ice and goo, there is a large number spelled out at your feet. You presume that is the answer.
Right.
Do not see how that helps.
As Minna is still talking, says like, amazing, isn't it? The augur is tremendous.
Yeah, I'm going to
I-
presume I heard the rumbling, if there was rumbling.
It was much lighter
I-
here. You could possibly not notice it if you were paying attention.
I try to interpret the number.
It's just like a number. This is the distance to the nearest energy source, as you received at the other one. Which, because of the magic of triangulation, gives you 2 locations that you could look at, if you wanted to. Or you could go to
Great.
5 masts.
Anyone wants to also ask for the direction, if possible?
Okay. Which direction is the energy source? Thing we're looking for.
A very obtuse, long sentence appears that very detailedly describes that the nature of this question cannot be properly answered due to the approximate shifting nature of the energy source, and that the number given previously is a better answer than anything it can provide. It's somewhat philosophical about the fact that it can tell you where to go, but it wouldn't be technically accurate.
So we have 2 numbers.
Which gives you 2 places it could be, as there are 2 points where
Yeah.
circles would intersect.
That won't
Yeah.
even give us an approximate azimuth. Great. Well,
Well, we have two points of data now.
Yeah, we just go to the mask village. Yeah,
Nice.
third number, I suppose.
Get our third navigation point.
yeah, I'm just going to try my best to be grateful to the weird machine people, though honestly I'm not in the mood to express gratitude properly and then leave and follow the party unless assumed otherwise.
You move on again. Alright,
Mhm.
where do you go? Do you go to any of the two locations you've found where it may be, or do you go to 5 masts?
I mean, 5 masts is the most likely option because then once we get that information, we can probably have a much better shot at actually getting to the right location.
Yeah.
Unless, of course, one of the possible locations is on the way, so to say, because I can see the map to actually be able to make the judgment call.
Well,
Hmm.
technically speaking, the locations that it could be at, one of them is close to 5 masts. The other is like way the other way.
Yes.
If it's close to it, like on the way, then we can stop there first.
Yeah, let's do that.
I mean, at that point, you might as well just go to 5 masts, but sure.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
Like at that point, either you go to 5 masts and learn if it's there or not, or you go to the other place and learn that it's not this one, and you might as well go to the other one. So, technically it's the same thing. Alright, so you decide to go to the hole in the ground, or whatever it is. Maybe it's a big pillar, like a big finger.
Oh no.
Okay,
In the
well,
hole.
can someone roll me a 1d6 for what's going to happen on the way there?
Great.
It's a 4.
That's lovely. As you walk over a relatively smooth patch of ice, you walk under a large, frozen hand from which large icicles form an almost cave-like structure. It provides minimal cover in this odd, flat expanse in between the trees of the many crashed ships and their debris. It is there that Theodore in specific picks up the very aggressive clanging noise of a machine diving into cover.
Huh. Well, I'm gonna like get my shield up and kind of approach it to investigate.
The sound came from like near the edges of this area. And perhaps you heard one up on top of the finger somewhere. The index, the highest one.
Huh. Well, investigate whichever one's closer.
All
Gonna
right.
let everyone know, like, hey, I heard something. I'm going to have a look.
I'm gonna ready my crossbow.
Yes, I'm remembering what happened last time.
Let it be
Following.
said that Theodore does not learn from his mistakes.
So there's a thing up there and a thing possibly out there.
No, you've not seen anything. You've just heard noises echo off the metallic walls.
Yeah. Could be wrong, but I heard something and I want to find out whatever it was.
For that, you must roll me an intellect difficulty 4 challenge.
Dang it, why is it always intellect?
Because that's what you use when you're trying to use your noggin. You
Oh,
beat it
hey.
though. You spot something climbing up high up atop the finger. You think it's going to try to dive off or something with how high it's climbing.
Try a finger.
Try finger. There may be others in the off in the distance, but they're well better hidden than this. What do? That thing is about to jump off and hit one of you with one hell of an elbow slam. If you want a description, it's got 2 forearms and like a big trailing tail behind it, and a big old glowy eye. It's mostly made out of metal plates that awkwardly clank together, constantly slapping forming ice from it.
Oh, great. So it's kind of a drop beastie.
Can I like knock the hand so that it falls off before it's ready? And
This
just kind
hand
of...
is huge, by the way. It's the size of a building plus.
Yeah, so probably not.
It's like our kaiju fighting robot, like Lost Head.
I'm going to guess that this monster was pointed out to us by Theodore
You
now.
see Theodore looking with aggression in his face. Yes, you would know it's there.
Yeah, I'm just gonna point out to people it's some sort of ranged option. Just kind of...
You're not going to
Yeah.
need range, because as everyone just kind of stands around, it will
Yeah,
keep climbing up
I'm
until
going to
it's ready.
prepare to dodge, if you don't mind, and advise everyone does the same.
Alright. Preparing to dodge will give you an asset on your ability to dodge if it goes for you. Can Theodore roll me a 1d6 on who it's going to pounce?
Okay. Boop. 1.
Votin.
Oh no.
You watch as this thing jumps off and
Uh,
suddenly...
can I shoot it into him? Try to shoot it while it's in the air.
Yeah.
I don't
Can
know
I
why
shoot it with my crossbow in
I
there?
don't know why you didn't shoot it earlier, but this is where we roll initiative.
Okay.
Oh.
Telling people to hit it, but then you
This creature
force things forward.
is a difficulty 4 creature. So everyone needs to roll me speed versus difficulty 4, and if you make it, you get to act first, and if you don't, you act second.
Oh,
High speed. For the
Alright.
slow man.
Alright, so... Mina is Vespa, I think. So that's that. So
Yeah.
they also go first.
Let me just edit my name, I guess.
K-Braid. Failure goes later. They have Griffin. Oh, Theodore goes first too. Okay. So the failures are... is just Ellie. Vorte. And then the monster himself, which we'll add. Baddies. There we go. Baddies? Baddies. Alright. I will take care of this. 1, 1, 1. And then 1. And then we add -1 here. And then I just do a clickety-clack. Break mother's back. I would like to resort, thank you. Alright, Theodore, Vespa, Vourtin, and Raum. You get to decide who goes first. Because the way initiative works is it's just before or after the monster. And the rest is for you to figure out. This thing is jumping down. There are others in the fringes who may soon strike. But this one opens the attack.
I mean, it makes sense for Vorton to go first since he's the one being attacked.
Yeah, I would suggest he take the action of moving away
He's
from
about
the...
to get 2 sharp claws driven into him, yes.
I'm gonna try to move away then.
You can easily move away. A short distance, at least. Any more will take your movement action. I think it's actually immediate distance, like a meter or so. Yes, sure. Go ahead. You will avoid the drop attack.
Can I also attack while jumping with my crossbow?
Okay, you attack with your crossbow. It is, as always, difficulty 4, because that's all there is to it.
Okay.
So it's speed, attack, apply any assets, effort, etc. you have and wish to use. Shot goes wide. Who goes next?
Well, I was preparing to blast this thing, so... guess? Let's see.
Does this bypass armor?
Nope. This is just a beam.
It is very heavily plated enough that a point of damage is soaked out, so it only takes 3. You knock off some of the plates, though. Clearly doing damage to it. Who wants to go next? There are 2 more people in this pre-initiative order section. Also,
Well,
Theodore.
What was the question? I was going to say, well, I want to, like, one, attack it and then put myself between everyone else and whatever else might be coming.
Ooh.
So,
You position yourself in such a way to intercept other enemies.
big smashy.
That will be the smash you do on the bad guy, which gives you a heckin'... You can get a major effect, which gives you a bonus over a little bit of time. For the rest of combat, I'd say that you basically get an asset for your might, as you are in full swing. Or you can take that extra 4 damage on the thing that's falling down towards you. Well,
I think I'll just take the asset.
you have an asset. You are fast. We have one more person who gets to take a turn. That's Vespa.
It me. So, what was that about other enemies further away?
Now that the turn sort of has progressed, you can tell that there are at least 2 more coming out of the metalwork off in the distance.
Okay, I'm going to assume that they are.
They seem barely visible in
far
darkness,
enough.
but in the light of day.
Far enough away that we don't have to deal with them immediately.
They will show up next turn, yes.
Yeah, okay, I'll just should fire my crossbow. Let me just figure out how do I do that.
Well, that's a speed task.
Yeah. Yay.
Wide. The creature lands near Vutan. Then, Vutan, you need to make a speed defense action to avoid getting hit. Difficulty 4.
Since I
As
have
its claws sweep towards you.
Since I have trained without armor, I am trained in speed defense. I know I'm going in armor, damn it. Okay, so it's difficult forward. Use speed. Or how does the defense work again?
You just roll your speed, and if you have speed defense training, you can add speed defense training. If you have a shield, that adds an asset in speed defense. Armor just reduces the damage.
Yeah, I still have them on, so it's the normal speed one.
You avoid. Only just. Its 2 sharp claws almost tearing you to pieces. You watch as the other creatures come out, and they all set themselves upon Theodore, the heavily armored plate man. Ellie, your time to shine.
Oh, I'm going to attack the one that just dive bombed us.
You take out. Ooh, you rolled 19. You get a minor effect or plus 3 damage.
I'll go with the +3.
You hit this thing right on top of its noggin, setting a resonating blow through it. Crackles and sparkles, but still operational. Theodore, what do you do? Or, well, what does the whole pre-baddie party do? Because there's 4 of you there.
Did you say there were more of them coming?
2 more coming.
Well, noticing that there's more of these things approaching, are they two others close together?
No, they come from slightly different directions. They'll be together in a minute when they're on Theodore.
Well, I'll hold my. Can I hold my action until they are all bunched up together?
Sure. You prepare to fire.
Yeah. Well, prepare to throw. I have my detonation cipher.
Vespa, Theodore, and Vortan, what do you intend to do? One is still clawing at Vortan, and there are 2 coming in.
I would like to spend my 1 speed point to be able to apply actual effort to this next shot and also apply Pierce if all that is applicable.
Excellent.
Yay. Oh,
In Vespa's case, means, let's see, 2 edge, so only 1 for the effort, and whatever the Pierce costs.
It costs 1 more speed point, I believe.
Then you spend 2 speed points on a very powerful blow.
Yay. roll.
Ooh,
Yes, this is difficult.
Big numbers.
If you aim at the one that's near you, you may either destroy it or take a major effect.
Yeah, I think I was just planning on firing one of the other ones actually.
All
Because
right.
I figure someone else is going to destroy that one
All right.
with melee.
Well, what do you do in that regard?
Extra damage, please.
So, let's see. You deal. Oh, it doesn't actually. Oh, that's just a speed set roll. Okay, I think your weapon's 4, so that's 4 plus 1. Yeah. 1's already looking pretty shabby. Sort of limping at full speed towards the rest of. To Theodore, specifically. Theodore Voutend, you still have a turn.
I'm gonna ready a block using my 1 edge to reduce that to a cost 2 in speed.
Cool.
Just so I'm ready for the attack. And I assume that's my action
That
for
is
the
your
turn.
action. Voutend.
Yeah.
The one next to you is still alive, because no one's attacked it.
Is it so close to me that I have difficulties to attack a range attack, or
You can totally just attack with the range without any consequences in Numenera.
so I wanna use my special ability Trick of the Trade.
Yes.
That costs 1 speed, but I have edge speed edge 1, so what does that mean?
I think it's free.
Okay. So yeah, then if I hit, I inflict 1 additional point of damage if your weapon has a sharp point. And then I want to spend some speed to put effort.
Okay, so you spend 3 speed points on an effort attack. That makes it difficulty 4, difficulty 3, and you do 1 extra damage on the impact. Pew. Success! The one near you is destroyed.
Boom.
The 2 baddies come rushing in towards Theodore. Theodore! You block 1 blow!
That's me.
The other one will require your speed defense. Difficulty 4. I think you have an asset from your shield, right?
I believe so.
Any other assets towards speed defense?
Actually, I do have a negative special ability that increases the difficulty by 1 step.
Poor boy. Poor boy.
I'm a
Which
slow
one is
boy.
it? Well, you're slow.
4th one.
Doesn't telekinetic shield also give you an asset, though?
I think it's only against. Yeah, it does. I guess.
Alright, so you get 1 positive modifier downward already on this. Difficulty 3, then, technically.
Okay, difficulty 3. Speed.
Well, actually, difficulty. Well, you make it anyway. It doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
You avoid the other attack coming at you. Those claws are sharp. Even your plate mail can only stop so much before they rend into you. Ellie! They're set up on Theodore. One is badly damaged from 1 hell of a blow.
Well, I'm gonna try and finish it off if I can.
You probably will be able to do so. Oh yeah, our good friend Ram wanted to do something, didn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah, we wanted to
Realm.
ready an action.
What are you going to do, Ram?
Okay, so there are 2 of them left.
Mhm.
I throw my corrosive detonation thing at them.
Nada.
Heroic. Show us the goods.
So, how does that work?
Well, first.
Oh.
You want to see what it does. Okay. It's a level 4.
They go.
Wait, I'm pretty sure I copied in what it actually does in terms of, like... Alright, I didn't. I guess I'm an idiot. Let me just look up. I think detonators just do damage according to their level. Where are we looking exactly?
Ooh,
Detonation. Okay, it does damage. Okay. It does corrosive. Kaboom! They all both take 4 damage. which their armor cannot fully stop. One of them is basically melted. The other one is just a little bit singed around the edge, so to speak. And now it's Ellie's turn.
Should I
Do the
roll again
stabby.
for that? Or just
Oh, did you already
Take-
roll? Okay, if you already rolled an attack, you roll an attack, and you will deal
Yeah.
your 4 damage. The creature is still standing in that case.
He's still standing. Better than he's ever been.
Theodore! There's one right next to you, and it looks like it's about to slash your legs off.
Time to get back on the offensive. I'm gonna smack that bad boy with my axe.
You have a might asset, and you are a big, strong boy.
Go. Strong boy. Gonna take that damage.
You slam it into the ground with such fierce force and fury that it collapses.
Got him.
Unless you want to take a GM intrusion, which gives you an
Uh.
experience point you can use later to re-roll or get bonuses.
That sounds like a good time.
You also someone
I'm
else
always-
gets an experience point as well.
I'm always down for shenanigans. Let's do it.
Who else gets the other experience point? That's up to you.
I'm gonna give it to.
Who's responsible for this mishap?
I'm gonna say Ellie.
Ellie gains an experience, as do you. You can use
Hooray.
that for a reroll later, or you can save him up. Okay, well, you are about to land the mightiest blow. When Ellie, over anxious with her staff sword, catches your axe, slides it off to the side, and two of you basically land on the ground as you essentially swing each other towards the floor. The thing looks and is like, oh man, these snacks
Welcome
are
to
being
the
nice
Benny
now.
Hill tabletop.
Vespa, Vorta, and Raum, what do you do as this heap of idiots is about to get beset upon?
Blast this thing with my beam attack.
Begone, foul fiend, you shout.
Ew.
Doesn't work. You hit a strong bit of plating that heats up, but diffuses the heat with ease. It's pretty cold. Vortin, Vespa.
I'm gonna try to zip it.
The whiplash there. Don't forget, you can also use effort to increase your damage. I think it's by +3.
Ba-da-ba-ba. Ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-da-da.
I need to look that up. Because I do recall you can use effort on damage, but I don't know how much it increases it by.
1 per effort, I believe.
That is terrible.
Yeah,
I think it
is.
was +3 per 1 effort. That's what I recall reading.
Oh, yeah. And 17 is 1 damage, then 2. And that's not. Okay, that's the effects. GM intrusion, minor effect, major effect, rectangle roll, distance, initial cost, timekeeping, encounters, initiative actions. Attack! Here we go. Damage. There we go. Another side pulls. Okay. Effort for 3 extra points of damage, yes. There we go. You whip. And you hit. Because you got one hell of a whipping arm. You deal 1 damage, as its armor absorbs much of the impact. Vespa. That thing is about to start clawing into Theodore.
Well, crossbow worked fine last time.
That ain't broke.
Guess I'll just do the same thing I did last time, where I'm just going to spend the 1 effort on accuracy so that I don't hopefully miss.
I mean, you can spend
time.
multiple efforts. You are a high enough tier for that.
Yeah, okay, I'll spend 3 speed points to do 1 effort to accuracy and 1 effort to damage then.
Well, the first level of effort is 3. Every other level is 2. So
Yeah, so that's why I'm spending 5 minus 2 total.
minus
Because
1.
I have edge 2.
Edge only applies to a single whole complete action. So if you do 1 for damage and 1 for effort, you still only get the 1 edge. So it's 4 points you must spend. Or unless you have speed edge 2. I'm looking at the wrong sheet. Sorry, yes. You only
Don't I spend 2 effort at once and then just divide it?
You spend 3 effort on the first effort, 2 effort on the second, so that's 5 effort in total. Then -2 for your edge, so 3. 3 speed effort
Yeah.
is spent.
Yeah.
Also, you're not decreasing your pool. You decrease your current, please. All right, but roll me the goods.
Pew.
Suck.
Well, that's enough. You hit it. No damage level. Let me just check. You are using your crossbow, which is 4. So, ooh, almost.
So
But,
7 minus whatever the armor is.
7 minus whatever the armor is. Hanging by a thread.
Damn it.
Theodore, you are essentially rolling a neutral speed defense roll against 4 because you are on the ground, which is a penalty. So your shield isn't as effective. You better be careful. Also, Ellie is like almost on top of you, under you. I don't know how you ended up.
So that's difficulty what? On
4.
this? 4, okay. No assets.
Assets and penalties cancel each other out at this point. So, ooh, you dodge out of the way of these claws, slapping them aside with your shield. Ellie, you can get back up and give this thing the thrashing it needs to win.
I'll do the thrashing.
I like how it starts off with failure. So it's like you don't have to look at the rest of it. It's
In all caps and in bright red, just failure.
oh man, if you replied effort, you would have made it.
Womp womp.
You do have a reroll for your experience points. If you want to spend that one right away, you can go. Otherwise,
Yeah, I don't feel it's worth it
the
right now.
pre-fight crew can go. Theodore, that includes you.
I definitely want to get up off the ground for starters.
Ugh. The ground is cold. Meh.
And then can I attack and get up?
Yeah, sure. Sort of a rising slash. As in you
Hit him with the thing. Big smacky. Womp.
Ba-ba-ba-ba-da-ba. Well, I don't have to ask you for a gym intrusion. I just get one. You get up,
Yeah.
you attack with a blow, setting your foot forward, and just slip back onto your butt again.
I'm like a bloody Benny Hill character in the front here, just slipping over, rolling around.
Despite the fact that you are constantly slipping and falling, this thing just can't hit you.
Yeah.
Vesper, Vuja, and Ram, who would like to finish this creature that is hanging by... Well, you need 2 damage to get past the armor, but... Who wants to try to land a finishing blow?
Yeah, it's just
Ram is
keep
thinking.
on.
Keep on just filling the air with laser beams. Excellent!
We're very good at this.
Ellie, roll me a speed defense, please. As a laser beam may be coming your way. Man, it's cold out here. Not just the weather cold, but the environment.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, Mina's internet is having trouble. Trouble. Let's trouble and problems. I'm good
Roll
at
me
words.
speed defense, Ellie.
Oh, sorry, I wasn't paying attention. I somehow completely missed that fact that you were talking to me.
Yeah.
Alright. Well, I'll say that's enough for this context since he was trying to hit difficulty 4. You dodge out of the way of a laser beam coming your way, which starts to melt at the ice. Vurta and Vespa, you still have a turn to go.
I'm gonna try to whip him.
Alright, let's see. Oh, well, you make it. Hey!
Ow.
The whip cracks through the air, and despite the fact this thing is made out of metal, you crack its light out, and it stops moving as sparks fly out of its broken glass. The battle is over.
We did it. I say face down on the ground.
Bumbling around speed of sound.
Well, since you're slow and sluggish, at least you can get up safely now. You have to make a great effort. There. You then hear the deep rumble of something underneath. And for a moment, it is as if the ice melted for just a second. As if some great heat forced it to melt and then freeze once more.
That was weird.
Spicy.
One spicy tamale.
Well, now that we're semi-safe, as safe as it can be with impending doom on the horizon, I want to have a look at what remains of these, like, critters.
Well,
Hmm.
two of them have been a little bit melted, but the other ones are mostly just like shards of metal. You could probably recover something from them.
I want to give it a go at least.
Alright. Theodore decides that his battle axe is a great crowbar to wrench some goodies free.
Never go
Yeah,
wrong
have
with
an actual
goodies.
caliber if you want it.
Would you roll me a D100? And then 3d6.
Hmm.
Ooh, 99.
In that case,
999.
you will find 9 shins of materials on them that you can take. Since shins are just raw garbage.
Heck
Oh.
yeah.
The item you find, however, roll me a d6 on the item.
Okay. Buttons.
You have a level 6 thing. It's some sort of odd belt that it has like weird packets of gel around it.
Mm.
It's a cipher. You can tell that much. It was around the creature's
Weird
waist.
belt. Level 6, you said?
Yes.
Hmm.
If someone could identify the Numenera, that'd be great.
Yeah, I'll take a closer look at this thing. Just this. Hmm.
Excellent.
Man.
It is a warmth projector. While worn and activated, it essentially makes you completely at home at any temperature. That's
This
cold.
would have been handy about half an hour ago.
You would have just given it to the man, you know.
It also provides you with 6 armor specifically against cold damage.
Oh, man.
For while it's active. For 28 hours. The day.
Hmm. Oh, nice.
You can now move along to the village if you wish. Press A to continue, or to look around a bit. It's up to you.
I mean, we are in a frozen wasteland with only this like giant hand to look around at, so unless you'll want to vandalize it and possibly risk more tremors like the one just happened, which might just remove the entire ground underneath us.
Hebrate, can you roll me a 1d20? Just a 1d20. The large hand begins to slightly clench and twist.
Yeah.
Oh no!
Yeah, so this is why I would suggest we just get the hell out of
A
here.
large crack forms in the ice, and then it ceases its motion.
Well, that's a good sign to skedaddle.
Interesting. Maybe there's something underneath trying to repair these things.
Potentially, but I don't want to hang around to find out.
Hmm. Will probably not be good for our health, no.
Yay.
So, are you going to
Yeah.
5 masts, or are you going to go to the first site?
Yeah, close to it, so let's head to the masts.
Mass Town, USA.
Skid along. 5 masts is located on a large cylindrical thing, and indeed lives up to its name as 5 masts in a square formation with one in the center. Make up the buildings. They're all built around these pillars, except the central one, which only has a small little thing hanging from it. There's no one around as you approach it. It is awkwardly quiet, and it is beginning to snow.
Alright. Let's spread around and look around.
You climb up the awkward, overfrozen ladders to the top,
I'm going to guess and possibly do some knocking on the outside to guess that it's hollow on the inside.
Oh, the large cylinder that they're
Yeah.
on top of? You'd have to chip at the ice first, otherwise you just hear the ice.
Yeah, sure.
You decide to spend a little bit of time chipping at the ice until you reach the odd glowy metal underneath. Sounds hollow.
The crunchy center.
Yeah, so in case you'll need me, I can just try to go inside.
You try to cut open the metal?
No.
Oh,
Also, that's a backup plan. For
Who
now,
has
let's get
climbed up
out
to
there.
the top and is looking around 5 masses proper? The
Yeah.
way this village is designed is that every house is the small bubble container built around large pillars that stick out of the cylinder. Each of the houses has a little ladder going straight down. And there's a carpet hanging in front that seems to be made out of some fancy ass stuff.
question: is the cylinder we found? How big was it, and does it sound hollow?
Vespa just confirmed that it is hollow. It is very large. Have you ever seen one of those industrial containers, those silos? That's approximately what you should be thinking of.
Okay, I walked through it.
You decide to walk through a section of metal. Walk through walls. Oh, I like how you can just keep pushing and pushing.
Yeah, I can do that as well. Exactly.
Vespa and Ram want to go inside?
Yeah, sure. Like, if he's doing it, then I'm just going to follow up so that we don't just let him
All
go.
right. Roll me a 1d20 for luck.
Yeah, really.
You are entering a completely random container. I don't know what you
Night
would expect was on the
shenanigan mode.
inside.
The village.
Vespa ends up on a small walkway that goes around the perimeter of the large container. It goes down a way. And it is filled with odd glowing ooze that doesn't sit flat. It has peaks and valleys in it. Like it's alive, but not really. Rom, on the other hand, falls a short distance and smacks into the floor of another walkway. This walkway has some ooze hanging from it that congeals and spreads and thins. I'm just going to look at Rom. Do you have any means of helping yourself not fall as hard on the ground?
Fast step. I
All right.
jump back.
Once you pop out, you take a second to far step and jump over to Ruminus.
Yeah.
It's only like a foot off to the left, so. You are both standing on this walkway. The glowing fluid beneath is not what illuminates this place. It is the ceiling, which has no discernible light sources. This place is not terribly cold, but not comfortable either.
Let's say that my
at the top, the walkways cross and have this larger round platform where you can see boxes standing.
Yay. Do I see any ladders going up?
Oh, there's like a
anywhere
staircase where
actively?
you are right now that goes up to that level.
Great. Because if we are inside the cylinder, I would like to check if we can go onto the top of it from here as well.
Well, the gang can just climb the ladder that's on the outside that leads up there.
I mean, yeah. But we are on the other side of the cylinder as
Alright,
well now.
Theodore, Ellie, and Vortin. You are at the top of the large silo in 5-mast village. You don't hear any life, and all you see hanging from the central pillar is a small control panel that fizzles and crackles.
Well, do any of us know how to operate mysterious control panels? 'Cause if not, I'm just going to poke the heck out of it.
Only thing I can do is repair stuff. Other trap that is people here.
Ellie can interface.
Ellie's definitely the right person for the job then.
Yeah.
Or creature adjacent to person.
Well, that is an asset.
This is why you have a data check.
Yeah.
Alright. How about Ellie roll me a difficulty 3 task then, to see and figure out how they can operate this panel. Actually, it's 2. It's just 2. Don't need to overestimate how difficult things can get.
Where's the roll button? Do I just hit any button?
It's a difficulty 2 intellect task, so you can.
Oh,
You have an asset on this because you have your interfacing. Yes, you figure it out, and you also get a minor effect.
3.
Let's see. You fuse your metal and body. Let's see what kind of cool effects you might be able to get out of your character. Focus fuses.
If it had an asset, wouldn't that be a 20, so a major effect?
No. Assets affect the difficulty, not the roll itself.
Oh, okay, yeah. Alright, I'm misunderstanding.
All right.
Ignore me.
You have a +1 bonus to your next attempt to interface, as your brain is filled with the clarity of it. This small panel appears to be operating the pillars around here in some capacity. You're not quite sure what they do because nothing really happens. You don't feel anything or hear anything. But one of the other buttons opens a small panel that shows like graphs and diagrams and exciting numbers. One number doesn't change at all at any point.
hmm.
And
Nice.
if you were to
Oh,
put
yeah.
this number into the map you have, it would overlap with one of the locations you have marked as being a potential site. In the meantime,
Neat.
Raum and Vespa walk over to the bar. Yes, indeed, some of the goo actually goes high enough that you can poke it from the railing. Some of it is
Okay,
like
go.
clinging partially to the railing. It's greenish. It's like the nuclear green you always see.
Ooh.
The boxes at the center have like glass or like synthetic panels mounted into them. A lot of buttons and levers and systems.
Hmm.
Well, you
Yeah.
look like you would be better at trying to do anything with this.
As I take a closer look at this control panel. See,
There are multiple panels. Most of them are offline, except the one in the center. You step into the small sort of C-shaped desk, you would call it, and the central panel lights up. It mentions things like the current level of fuel fluid located within this canister, as well as the current status of operational pumping systems. Judging by what it's saying, and you're able to translate with your robotic mind, this thing doesn't understand that whatever it was previously attached to, it no longer is attached to. Sort of like if you were to take a car engine out of a car and it still tries to spin and move.
Okay. While I was outside, did I see whether this thing was currently attached to anything, or was it just lying on the ground?
Even if you walked around, you wouldn't see anything it's connected to. Odds are that whatever pipes connect this to anything are probably down lower. Makes more sense, but it says that the pumping stations are disconnected and broken.
Okay. Well, what is it trying to do?
Roll me
It's basically
a
giant autonomous.
difficulty 2 intellect task to figure this out. I think your Numenera is an asset. If you have another asset or a bonus or training or something, we'll get you out of it.
Okay. Well.
Can you have multiple skills applied to one roll?
No idea.
I don't think
You'd assume so.
Well, I don't.
Like, for now, this seems like a giant autonomous fuel tank which is lying around on its own.
Well, anyway, you're pretty
how does
sure that this thing is some sort of fuel tank used for a power station or something, considering that it seems to be regulating how much it pumps out.
Except it doesn't have anywhere to go to.
Yes. It does mention that the fuel is acting unusual because it's been static for too long. You don't know if actively caressing Vespa's cheek counts as irregular or unusual.
What?
You'd have to ask.
You don't know what this fuel is supposed to do. So, people up top. You have a panel, and there's no one around to help you with it. You have a number that tells you that might be the correct number, or you might be making a leap of faith and landing on the floor. What does your gut say?
My gut says numbers.
Good.
I agree.
Numbers it is. Does Ellie have any opinion on the numbers?
Do I roll for numbers?
Sure. Roll me a 1d20 for numbers. 10. That's numbers.
That's number one.
Exciting, isn't it? How you can roll numbers. Do you wish to like wait for Raoul and the gang to get outside because you don't see them? You don't know where they went. Why do they do this all the time? They just vanish whenever we reach buildings.
Yeah, we wait for them.
Raoul
Thing
and
weird
Vespa,
ghost people.
you don't really
Eh.
hear anything up top. Like well, actually, you do. Like you're like muffled stepping sometimes, but
Big steppy.
I guess I'll just try to turn this thing off.
Ellie, the panel you're holding turns off.
8.
At this point, it's almost as if a weird background noise went away, but you never heard the background noise to begin with. Ram also gets this feeling. And you notice that the whole thing is shut down, the lights go off, and it's just the ambient light of the glowing goo.
Yeah.
Yeah, this
I-
maybe wasn't the best of
There is
ideas.
the panel, the screen you're using still works, but it has like only one giant button and it says on.
Like, if this fuel is complaining that it isn't being used, then how about you don't take away its last use?
Which is just
It-
hang.
It's just
Number
a
one.
machine.
It doesn't care, it doesn't feel, it doesn't know.
It's goo. Goo is good goo.
Well, you hang around in this comfortably temperatured room.
Oh.
Actually, just under comfortable.
Like,
Well, I will, after I turn this broken thing off, I just approach another wall and try to go out again.
You appear
Okay.
outside, and this time you're only a foot off the ground when you pop out.
Oh.
You notice something standing here. You exit on the other side of it, and you see someone who's like climbing down a rope that's off the side, who is frozen in mid-air. Closer examination reveals that he's icy glued to the structure itself.
Strange.
There's a panicked look of fear in his eyes, but you don't see any rope that he could be climbing, which looks like what he's doing.
Well,
There is a ladder nearby you could climb up.
yeah, I'll teleport myself up there.
What does Vespa do? Do you follow Realm's footsteps?
no, like, what's the point of exiting this thing at ground level? I wish to try to climb further up in it.
Can you vertically pass through matter?
Why not?
Your power should make mention of how you approximately phase through things. Let's see. Okay, you can slowly pass through. Alright, well, sure. You stand on top of the paddle, climb her up, and then slowly push your way through. Everyone outside, eventually you see Vespa slowly coming out of the floor. It looks hilarious.
Hi.
That's a neat trick.
I've seen Vespa do this before.
It's still a
So-
neat trick. I mean,
I'm just going to explain to the party because I presumably came up on top of this like giant fuel tank.
As
So
you
I-
all shake hands, say hello,
Yeah.
you hear a distant thud. Raum, this is approximately where you saw that body a minute ago. You hear ice hitting ice.
I look around.
Well, it was off the edge. Like, this didn't happen at a level you can see it.
Oh. I'll try to go and take a closer look at the frozen body.
You lean over the edge to see that the frozen body is moving. Everyone else is still standing around the 5 masts of 5 masts. You notice the curtains are pulled aside and icy frozen bodies walk out.
huh.
And
I saw these.
Ooh.
they move rather slowly, but they are moving towards thee.
Do they look hostile in any kind of way?
I mean, he just turned off the, like... This is like a giant... Well, a giant. It's a pretty large machine, this cylinder we are standing on. It's like a container for fuel, and he just turned off its systems, which I'm guessing this thing could have been providing meager heating, and now it's not going to until we turn it back on.
There are like 20 of these icy things moving towards you. They move like zombies with listless steps.
I push the on button.
The panel?
Yeah.
The panel's off.
Oh, I thought you said there was an on button on the panel.
No,
No,
that's
it's
the
on
one
the
Raul
one
had.
inside.
Oh,
If you want me to drop through the floor to get it and turn it back on, just say the word.
that's probably what you should do.
Yeah, that takes a little bit of time, though. You
Yeah,
pass
so
through
I'm
an
going
inch every round, and considering your full height has to go through,
Okay, I'm going to lie flat on it. So
that would
I go
still
fast.
take you a minute or so. And these
Yeah.
things are coming in hot.
Well,
Minutes.
speaking.
And Raul was
I
like,
think it's probably a good idea if we make an exit.
leave. What here?
We have the number that we came here to get, so we could try and triangulate the thing. And
Yeah.
fighting our way out sounds like a good idea.
I asked the frozen. So, what do they look like? Do they look like humans, just but frozen?
Yeah, they look like people encased completely in a layer of ice.
Ah, can you understand me?
It doesn't seem to care that you speak.
Never mind then.
It also ignores Raum because he's a machine and doesn't have any heat.
How rude.
I guess it ignores me too then.
Well,
Do
you
I
have just
see-
enough meat to be worth it, but
Oh,
I imagine the
I thought you
others
said
are
heat.
hotter. So
Yeah, especially with my new fancy heated belt.
you have to turn it on for it to work, though.
Oh well.
It's still a nice.
Maybe they know that.
Well, you stand around as you are surrounded and approached by frosty boys.
So hold on, aren't we like on top of a pretty high cylinder or...
Yeah, but they're surrounding you, like encircling you, and you're not that close to the edge. You could just push them off.
I just, use my fast step to jump and skip and appear behind the crowd of ice zombies. Just,
There is no behind the crowd. There's a circle of them forming around the party.
Okay,
They
no,
are being surrounded.
Yeah,
So-
like where are we? Are we on top of this cylinder
You're on
and they
top
are
of the
all
cylinder.
around the
You were standing. I
Are
told
they-
you.
But
Are they
Raum
all
is
around the
behind.
edge? Like
They're not on the. Listen, the cylinder is a large enough platform that you can sort of move around on it. It's like a field. It's not
No,
that small.
what we're saying is, are they on the ground or are they up on top of the tower with us?
They're on top of the tower with you because they're climbing out of the buildings that are on top of the tower that are mounted to the antenna. That's why I said they are pushing curtains aside, because of the curtains on the houses in the...
I just assumed all the buildings were on the ground and this was the big tower
I
in the
said
middle.
that 4 of the towers were used for construction, that there were houses built in bubbles around them.
Okay.
Oof.
This is just a very confusing layout.
Yeah, I assumed we were on the ground as well.
Well, you're on the ground on top of the silo, yes.
I thought it was on the ground between the silos.
There's only one
Oh.
silo. The others are like antennas.
Oh,
Like, let me just try to make rudimentary drawings just so that it isn't frustrating as hell. Actually, I need to really start roll 20 for it. Because...
Did someone just drop 10 on the map?
10.
Minna, I'm gonna draw a map, logs out.
10.
There we go. So, like,
are they moving slow enough that they can be navigated around?
I imagine that there's a ground. There's like a big ass cylinder.
Yes.
There's like 5 masts on it.
Yes, they stand in a square formation with one in the center.
That's the middle one. And I imagine Raum went in through here,
Yes.
and I imagine there's like a platform with the
Yeah.
computer thinger, and there's a panel also on top near the central
Well, the
pylon.
panel is hanging from the central pillar, more than it's
Yeah.
in it.
Okay, so on the central pillar. Okay, so if Raum went out here and so was, well, I'm just going to say that I was there as well. And then we moved in and out.
You moved in and out through the ceiling, didn't you? Because you wanted to pop out of the floor.
But Raum didn't.
Round went out the side and then he jumped up.
What?
And only then did the the ice people come out.
Approximately.
So wait.
Okay, we've got it covered.
So the zombies are surrounding party, and I'm sort of off to the side
Yes.
somewhere. Well, I just then walk up, so I'm behind the zombies, looking at the group in the middle.
The zombies ignore you. They seem like fine fellows, whereas everyone else feels an unusual chill in their heart as these things get closer.
No, it's just. Is there enough of a gap between them to navigate out?
Yes. But you shouldn't waste
then-
time if you wish to leave.
Then I go for it.
Yeah, let's bust on out.
Mm,
Charge through.
You wish to be the leading charge and push aside some of them to create a larger gap, then? Or are you
Well,
charging charges
yeah.
and get out of there?
I mean, like, I'm a big, wide, heavy boy. I can, like, at least knock some out so that other people can follow. They're going to attack anyone. I'd rather they attack me.
You watch as large metal Theodore charges at them. Theodore,
And I'm Billy Small Boy.
difficulty 3 might check as you charge them.
Okay, difficulty 3. Bow. Oh,
You charge into them, but then they grab onto you.
mm.
And as you walk past them and their weight is suddenly added to yours as you pull them up, since they're trying to not move, you fall over and they're on top of you. You did clear the way, but they're on top of you. Does anyone want
I'm
to
just
help?
kind of. I'm not. I'm like a comedy of errors. Everything I do, I fall over.
Okay, so can I get an acid for attacking a downed target?
Yeah, they're on the ground. They can't dodge for shit to begin with. So
Yeah, so I would like to just
they are
chop
like glaciers.
heads off with broadsword.
You begin slashing at an icy sculpture with your broadsword.
Yeah, I would like to aim at the necks if that's viable.
You try to slap the one that's on Theodore off, and that's a might attack.
Yeah.
I do say that seems somewhat rude to the locals, but
These
Well,
don't.
whatever.
If they're the locals, they're the locals after whatever happened.
well, I don't know. I've
Look.
met weird kind of people before.
I mean, if you want to try diplomacy, be my guest.
They
Well-
didn't seem to be talking before, right?
You do have a device that can help with communication.
Well, yeah, I I use my compeller to compel them to get off Theodore.
You roll me difficulty 2 to make sure that it actually does that, because you're not quite sure how to operate this, but hey, you can give it a go. Difficulty 2 intelligence. Intellect.
Intellect 2. Does anything help with that?
If you have repair,
Yeah,
then
I
go
have
for it.
repair. Asset 1. Let's see if this works. Yeah.
You succeed. Oh, they get off Theodore. The other ones, however, since they're not on top of Theodore, just stand there confused for the moment, as they try to process how to obey a command that they don't understand. Your allies, however, are intelligent and quick of wit enough that they realize they are not on Theodore, do not have to get off, and therefore are not compelled to follow.
Do I have to get undressed again?
No, but you have to get off. You have to get off
I'm
yourself.
still-
So you constantly have to climb on top of yourself to get off of yourself to get on yourself.
Well, I think it's time I got off.
Do you wish to abuse this moment where they are completely befuddled by the fact that they need to get off someone that they are not on top of?
I mean, it's a good chance if we want to, leave.
Yeah, let's do that.
Yeah.
Can be a roll off the edge.
Luckily,
this thing is quite tall.
the ladder going down has those cool railings on the side you can use to slide down and then break your legs on impact.
Sounds perfect.
I just
Far step,
just
side
step.
flip.
Yeah.
He does like a little dive at the end like Mario at 64.
Wahoo.
Theodore slides down. I assume Ellie just glides.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you wait,
Yes.
do you wish to wait for the zombies to reach the edge as they try to follow you?
Silly
Only if I get to watch them from a safe distance once they get down.
Sure. You can watch from a safe distance. And you watch as several zombies climb off the edge, not using the ladder, and just impact with the ground and shatter, releasing their corpsey contents.
Ooh, that's gotta hurt.
Yeah, you think the Elder is going to want to know that 5 Masts is pretty much not a village anymore?
Yeah, that'd probably be a good thing to inform them.
It's not
When
that
we're done.
hard.
Do you think it's our fault?
Probably
Ah.
not. Don't be so quick
Okay.
to judge.
Maybe.
Yeah, all I did was turn off their the entire civilization.
No wearing
Wouldn't be the first time I fucked something up.
Well, nothing's left to do here.
I just turned off some broken machinery. I do not see the problem here.
You are being helpful.
I was barely involved, so I have no blame in this.
So, we think if we tossed a torch and all that go on the inside, would it just go up in a giant pillar of flames?
If you're feeling
Yeah.
frisky, why not do something exciting?
Interesting. Well,
And try not to die in the process.
Yeah,
it is fuel of some kind.
we could probably rig it to only go off after some
Time.
so
Yeah.
that we could get away.
You are,
If you remember, do not look at explosions.
you are in a great place to scavenge for some like random materials since there's lots of crashed electronics around.
Yes.
So if you wanted to make a spark bomb to light up some fuel, that village.
It's time for war crimes.
Yeah, well, I mean, this is going to be just an act of wanton violence because we are a murder hobo party, apparently.
It's actually an act of mercy because these odd zombies are suffering and we're only releasing them from their suffer.
Sure. We'll put that on the memorial plaque.
Here there were zombies.
And
Yeah,
we
I'm
made
just
them
going
not
to
zombies.
move a further distance away and start
Hmm.
carving the memorial into. I don't
Okay,
know,
well,
some
who's
piece
building the bomb?
of Round, probably.
I've got no hand in this.
Well, all right. If you want to exterminate this life form,
I mean, did it already.
These life forms, sure. I have no qualms about eradicating organics.
It is easy enough for Ram to gather the necessary components, since all you really need to make a spark bomb is a little electronics that can send a signal after a little bit of time, and something to make a spark.
Yeah. Hey guys, get away from there.
Ram enters the large structure. You see the large fuel tentacles reaching around, giving you a pat on the head as you walk by.
Hmm.
You find a place where you could set this up so that it would exactly hit the glob of fuel that's hanging to the ledge.
Alright. Yeah. Just kinda put there with some wire that I also scavenged. And I put on some kind of egg timer or whatever I found.
It's like an old alarm clock. A
Well,
little,
yeah.
little Zippo lighter. A robot hand, because we might as well be.
Well, actually, like a very old alarm clock will work very nicely since it has these things that strike together, some flint and steel in there.
You design a spark bomb and put it next to the fuel.
Yep. Put in a timer and just.
You watch as the
You
fuel
toss-
almost curiously sort of taps against this thing as you leave. Whoop! You're outside
You
again.
Yeah.
You toss
Well,
a robot hand into the fuel and it curls into a thumbs up as it sinks.
yeah, they always do that. It's weird.
It's almost like it's built into every.
Yeah, so in the meantime, I found like a nice piece of sheet metal and like just chisel some words into it. Here lies the village of 5 masts, taken over by the ice zombie plague. May something have mercy on their souls if they still have any.
Well,
May they rest in fire.
you all watch with
And then we
excitement.
walk off.
Cool guys don't look at explosions. Everyone has to roll me a difficulty difficulty 2 piece speed check to not fall over as the explosion happens.
Oh, then watch me fail this. Yes!
I'm going to
Theodore, what do we
say
do? And he
that-
just falls over.
Does this count as escaping?
I think I have an acid for this because I have the
Balance?
grace pool.
Yeah. Well, it's not acid, it's training. But yeah. Okay.
Can I use the skill escaping for this?
Escaping. You have a skill for escaping?
Yeah.
Sure, we'll count that under this. Running actions you also have a benefit on, so sure.
I mean, I'm not sure where to apply being trained.
You hear an explosion mixed with an unearthly scream as the whole thing flies up in the air. Well, the lid gets blown off, mostly. You watch as snow and ice shatters and cracks off of many things from the shockwave. And then, as the smoke sort of begins to settle and you watch as debris sort of scatters around, you notice that the ice under your feet shifts and shapes as if something massive shifts for just a few meters. And there's now a huge crack. Like a complete deformation of the floor. And of thick rumble.
Well, you're supposed to be getting out of here, right? So that no one considers that this was our fault.
I mean, you basically wrote something down there with your writing, so
Yeah, but it's like plain block letters, just kinda chiseled in metal, so
oh well.
Roman standard.
there's no like handwriting analysis.
I don't think anyone's going to handwrite analysis. Sheer freaking black.
Yeah. So that's not evidence. Now
So,
let's get going.
putting the number you found onto the map, you notice that they don't overlap. Well, they overlap. They all three overlap a small section. But none of them hit 1 point exactly.
I mean, of course this would be moving around a little bit, right?
It marks a small area more than it marks a location.
Also, it's large.
That's still a destination.
Let's go, Mario, they say.
Yahui.
Yep. One food.
In front
Time
of the
to-
other.
Time to comb the ice desert.
You head down a spiky trail. And notice that the closer you get to this particular point, the more the ice becomes disheveled and broken up. Until eventually, as you forcefully push open a sliding door, you see a huge hole in the ground. Made of metal. With many lights and walkways. Heat distortion resonating from it. It's mostly covered up by the nearby debris, but it's undeniably there now that you're in its vicinity.
Well, somebody built a metal hole in the ground.
This thing looks like it's
i.e.
popped out
inside.
recently. By force.
Well, we found the thing that's probably powerful enough to just kind of wipe us out with one big shot, so...
I mean, a hole in the ground isn't going to kill anyone. What's in the hole in the ground is the problem.
I mean, if I jumped in, I'd probably die. That would be death by hole in the ground.
No,
So
it's the
I'm
floor,
going...
and it's the floor at the bottom of the hole that kills you.
Okay, look, I'm just going to do the reasonable thing and toss in a little piece of debris that's probably lying around and listen how many seconds does it take for me to hear the impact.
How many seconds would it take? Would you even hear it? Because this hole is deep. This one goes down kilometers.
Oh, well, okay. Fair enough. It's like 5, 12, and then 55. And at that point, it's probably not worth counting because I don't have that much rope.
Oh my god, I love the freaking comb. I love how someone took the time to actually make all the trails of the...
It's the best movie. Spaceballs is the greatest.
The fact that they made that giant pith helmet too. With a little face mask. You watch down below, seeing the large hole. There's some lit levels. More down. In the center, however, is this large... You might call it a dragon, because it is huge. It seems to have folded up wings, mouth, large tubes, pipes, things are all connected to it and are filling it with stuff.
Oh.
Robo-Durgan.
Yeah. So big, it possibly a single one of its teeth is bigger than you.
Oh.
It is being loaded up for war. Or something.
Well,
Before we end the session for today, because this place has plenty to do, who here feels most confident in making an intellect difficulty 6 check to see something in the area?
no chance.
Can I apply 2 efforts to it?
Sure!
Well,
Yay!
Perception would help in the situation.
Not perception. I don't have perception.
So it's a 6 base, they apply 2 effort, let's roll.
Off in the distance, with the way everything's organized, it's like northeast of where you're coming from. No, wait, you're coming from 5 holes. So it would be like almost opposite, but like a little off to the right. So sort of in the direction of Lost Head with how things have been going. You see a light source against a wall, and it sort of whisks out of existence if someone is covering it up with their hand. There's someone else here.
Gasp.
Nice.
So next time, we'll probably finish this up. As you guys will figure out a way to stop a giant metal dragon from getting millions of bullets loaded into it.
Let's hope its weakness is me falling over.
To be fair, if you fall from a high enough height, you are a deadly weapon.
I
Just
mean,
a sphere of metal.
maybe it has the same kind of fuel somewhere on the inside. We know how to deal with that.
Certainly. Time for
Well,
bed.
here's the plan.
Next time. Ba-da-ba-ba-da. Everyone say goodbye to stream.
Bye,
Bye,
stream.
stream.
Bye.